confirm if you're on with us. So, you guys, welcome to the Buzz Hub, February 20th. This will also be recorded. Tonight we have two of our local favorites, Teresa and Jim Endelman, the owners of the Lake Theater, or
That's
the
Teresa.
Lake,
This is
as
Jim.
we all like to refer to it. That's what we needed. That's what I don't even think we need to narrate or ask questions because you guys already know how you do this better than we do. We're novices or inexperienced compared to you guys. So Davey and I wanted to take the opportunity to bring to the community both of you for your amazing investment, your amazing spirit for the community, and also just keeping small town theater alive. And I don't think people realize the history and all the investment and work and talent with the marketing that you two have put into it. So we want to just kind of walk through a little bit about the history of the theater. If you guys can share a little bit about what you know. We thank you for some of the pictures that you sent over. That is definitely amazing to look back, especially considering the history of Oscoda burning down. So kind of a cool thing to have all of these different pictures and history and a little bit about the theater and then how you guys came to be owners and what that means to you. So Teresa and Jim, take it away.
So many questions in that opening remark. Teresa, you can start.
Oh, all right then. So let's start with the start.
At the very beginning, 1948.
1948, the theater was
Let's
built.
start with one other thing. There are three people involved in the Lake Theater.
Not people.
We are three living critters that are involved with the Lake Theater, and we do have one right here. So now I can get out because he has been squirming, worming on my lap.
By Neil.
So, see you, Neil. So 1948, Mr. Franks built the theater.
Yep. And
then we bought it. End of story.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. We'll
How do you like? So, yeah. So it was
Cheers.
Mr. Franks. So cheers. Bye. Mr. Franks built the theater, and then along the line there, Connie Woodley
picked it up in 1969 at the tender young age of 20-something, maybe 21. This is a pivotal thing because she kept it rolling through 2022, which is when we stumbled along. And we didn't intend to buy a theater. We were driving around one day and we passed the theater, and I think we said, wasn't that for sale? And there was no sign in the window anymore.
Yeah, so it was for sale for a long time and not something that we were seeking out, a theater. And then why did we look back to see? I know we went on Google Earth.
Because we wanted to call. So we looked on Google Earth to see if the for sale sign was in the window on Google Earth, because then we would find out who the real estate agent was. So that's what we did. We looked on Google Earth. It was in that front window between the two doors. And you just called up and said, the sign's down, but is it still for sale?
Yeah, so we ended up calling a realtor who didn't even have the listing anymore, but he made the connection, and we just went in and talked to Connie, and there was an investor type guy sniffing around, and he was going to shut it down as a theater and do something else with the property. So that is when we kind of stepped in. We were driving and we had to make a decision. What do you want to do? And we just kept going back and forth. And I finally said, what do you want to do? And he said, all right, do it. So that's basically how that happened. And I called, and we just ended up purchasing it. When we bought it, it was in pretty bad shape. So the roof was, if you had been in there prior to our purchase, there was like crime scene tape around a certain section where the roof was leaking into a bucket, and the projector went dead on us pretty fast. And so there was a lot of things we had to do, and we had to kind of figure it out as we went, because we had never owned a theater. So, but I do have a very techie husband here who was able to
Yes,
figure
you do.
yeah, yeah. And so he was able to really jump in with all of his skills in the projector system, and I just kind of stood back and watched on that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and thank God it's not in the 35 millimeter world anymore, where you're getting reels of film that weigh, dozens of pounds each, each reel. You're having to assemble those on a flatbed reel, and then it feeds into it. That technology could not allow us to run the place the way we run it. So when our projector went down in September, the part we wanted from Christy, who was and we're going deep in the woods, so if we do get too deep, let us know.
Yeah.
Throw up a red flag. But the part that we needed was not made by Christy. We had to buy it from a company out there called GDC, which in turn ended up being a better part. And that's why Christy didn't make it anymore, because GDC would step in and do it. So that piece of equipment, along with a new server, allowed us to make changes to the playlist remotely.
Yeah. So basically, we Frankensteined a projector together, and then we've done all sorts of. We had to put on a new roof, and everything that you've seen recently. For anyone who was at the grand opening, we had to put new carpet, we had to paint, and new seats. So
basically, that time between when we got the projector rerunning and the grand opening that you see on the screen, we had some setbacks on a rural lakeside grant that would have given us some funds to make the changes happen. So we had to go into our pockets and make those changes internally. But they gave us some more control, because they were controlled by a state historic preservation grant. And there would have been some sniffing around on that to make sure that we kept everything the same, which we ended up doing. We didn't have enough money to make those changes. As you can see, those two round walls there in the back were it's kind of a pressure embossed plywood, but I was not keen on that. Teresa liked it. We left it. Now, to me, it looks like the hull of a wooden, like Chris Craft boat, with the amount of blue that's around it. So I'm glad we left those. The other thing that I think really works well is the scalloped molding at the top of the theater wall, ceiling and walls. That brought it back to life. That made it a lake theater.
yeah.
That photo right there, if you go back one, Davey, to that exterior construction photo, that one, you can see those beams coming out. That's when the theater was under construction. You can also see there are these rounded pillars right in the center there, right by that stack, that pipe stack that comes out. So underneath the stone exterior, there is another rounded element that matches what's inside the theater. So we're anxious to kind of take a peek behind the aluminum that's up above and the stone that's down below and see what's
in there.
it's in. My guess is there's a reason that stuff was put up.
Yeah, we just don't know yet. So we have while we were pulling up carpet and doing other things, we found some little artifacts, and popcorn buckets were this big. They were so little, and seats were this wide. People were really little back then. And there's a cry room. Yeah, there's a cry room upstairs, and it's so amazing, because if you've ever gone upstairs to the theater, it's so steep and the treads are so short. And you just think about a lady carrying her newborn baby, going upstairs in 1948.
There was no nursing public in 1948.
That buzz up thing. The
It was
buzz
getting,
pop.
it was getting
Brush your teeth.
the babies away from the people.
Yeah.
But regardless, that was a dangerous set of steps to go up. It's a dangerous set of steps to go up now. So, yeah, I think one of the things I marvel at is we took out that first row of seats on December 28th, and we opened back up again on February 8th. 42 days.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was it was amazing, and it was I would recommend anyone who's going to renovate a theater, give yourself another 60 days because it was a lot.
When we first talked about this, Teresa said we can do it in 30 days. And I was like, I can't name that song in 30. I can name that song in 90 days. And yeah, it was, I somehow got talked into that. And we did it, and we did it with the help of some very committed folks. I'll give first props to Andy Pomeroy, painter extraordinaire, who did the main theater in 11 days.
Wow.
3 coats of
Yeah,
paint
that's
blue.
nuts.
Yeah, and it just, there was one point where we had the work lights on, and he was working on the ceiling, taking that to black, and we looked at the walls, that yellowy color wall, and we were like, oh, this looks so bad. It was like, I can't believe we kept this running for as long as we had it running. But under bright light, everything under bright lights looks horrible. So let's turn these lights off.
Yeah.
But it was time, and getting the roof fixed was a hit to the pocketbook. Getting the theater back up and running to where we're proud of it. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah, and that is a thing. Another little interesting thing is actually what kind of caught me flat-footed was we were racing to this goal of replacing seats, of getting new seats. They were horrible. We knew they were horrible. Everyone knew they were horrible. And
everyone told us.
Everyone, yeah, and we all know they were horrible. So it was this moment of when on December 28th was the last show, and then it was okay, here we go, and let's full steam ahead of getting this theater to a point where we could all be proud, the community could be proud, and have comfortable seats to sit in, and their backs wouldn't hurt at the end of the movie. So when we immediately started removing the seats, and when all of the seats were lifted up and removed, you just kind of stood there, and it was actually really sad because it was like this sacred burial ground almost. I mean, it was like, how many people had their first dates there? How many people met their husband or their wife there, or had a party there, or saw a movie that touched their life and changed their life there from 1948 or the 50s or 60s or 70s? And you just kind of sat there, and how many Oscoda ancestors have sat in those seats that aren't with us anymore? And we just took that seat away. So it was just this really overpowering moment for me. And I looked over at Jim and I said, it's really kind of sad. And he said, yeah, I know. And so, you were racing to get to this to achieve this goal of getting rid of these seats and putting new ones in. And it was sort of this melancholy moment too. But it was, you just had to keep pushing through because we needed new seats. So, as much as, so as part of the history of those seats, we were able to let a lot of people, we opened it up to the community to come and take a seat and, take a part of the history. So all of those that did have some sort of attachment to the theater and history with the theater were able to come in and get a seat. And those metal seats, the ones from 1948, were so unbelievably heavy. And
I can imagine.
yeah,
They probably had lead paint on them too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
100%.
And a lot of gum.
gum and lead paint. And what was so funny is, so the people who showed up for those seats were mostly our elderly in our community because they had the attachment to them and the memories with those. The younger, 30, 40 something, they're like, we don't want those seats. They're horrible. So we were getting all these seats out, but they were just so unbearably heavy. And we said, here's our rule. We're going to, we'll get the seats up and off of the floor, but you got to haul them out and you got to get them in your cars because we just can't do it. It was our backs and our knees and everything were hurting. And then you would see people older than you, like grandma and grandpa coming in, and it was like, and you see them struggling, and then we're like, well, we can't
do
let
that
them carry those seats, So it was just this whole thing and getting them up into their trucks or cars for them. And I was like, oh my God, we
didn't lose anyone while they were loading chairs.
Yeah.
So
but there were people that did come and help. Jeff Sen, he at the end, he was like, hey, you guys do what you got to do. I'm going to help everyone who wants these seats and I'm going to help them get them out to their cars. So that was pretty generous. Yeah, it was. We were able to raise a little bit of money too. People made donations, and we have pledged the money. So when we get back from Florida, we're going to meet with the school, and we're going to make a nice little donation to the school. And really, we thought we would do it to a pay-to-play type thing. Anybody who needed assistance in affording their child to be able to play sports. But ultimately, wherever the school wants the money to go, then that's where it'll go. But if it comes down to where we get to pick, and if there's a need, that would be something we'd love to do as a pay-to-play sponsor. So yeah,
that's really generous.
Wow, that's a great idea.
That gets us to today. So, but there's what we found at the opening, I didn't plan on doing a Q&A, but, we did a Q&A there, and it was kind of interesting to see how people's questions kind of steered us around. So I think, as, Davey and Kelly, as you guys are hosting, if you have questions that we haven't answered in our little soliloquy, it would be, it would behoove you to stop us talking right now.
Well, let me ask you guys something. One of the questions that I see you get online, what are you two saying? One of the questions that I always see online is people want to know how you pick the movies or how they come to the theater. So how does that happen per se? Like, do you get to decide if it's going to be for a week or 2 weeks? Or do they kind of give you that mandate?
So I'll talk about the physicality of it. It comes on a hard drive. It is locked down from playback with a computer key that is loaded into the server as well. So that releases it for the dates that we'll have it. As far as how do you pick movies, we're a first-run movie house, so we really only pick from the things that are out currently. One of the issues of streaming is that it shortened that window of how long a movie was out in the theaters before it rocks into the streaming world. We ended up with a movie this fall, maybe, that was streaming the same night we opened it. So that's
Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm calling it out. Yeah.
That was just kind of a really weird situation. I mean, we're in competition with every form of media. And it is so much easier to watch movies at home than it used to be. We feel that the investment we made in the seats made it a lot more comfortable and something that hasn't been offered, I think, on the Sunrise side in a very long time when you have that kind of premium movie-going experience. So how do we pick movies? How do we work with a broker?
Yeah, we have a movie broker. There's such a thing. And there's actually a seat broker too. So, but we have a movie broker that we work with, and this part of the business is not. People think like it's us dictating what movies come in, and to a certain degree, we can make decisions on it, but we really don't get to pick how long the movie. They're typically 2 weeks, but if it's doing well, they will randomly add on a week. So we know that people have gotten upset when we were trying to get a movie in that third week, and it's in the contract. They can add on a week if they so choose, and they have. So
It's pretty rare because, with a smaller town, we see that we're playing out within the first week. It's got to be pretty extraordinary movie for it to continue on, and that's happened though. We've gotten stung with that, and then it kind of moves everything. And
it moves then we're canceling movies and putting things, but it is also when they are making that decision, they're making it kind of at the last minute, so it's even hard to advertise.
Yeah.
So we're at a spot at the end, we're like, we want to move on. We want to get a different movie. And they are like, well, we'll let you know. And so we don't even have time to get it in the paper. So it's kind of it's really a crazy business. But it is.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it is a different business. I will tell you that for sure. It's not as much control as we would like to have, over your own business.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like that either.
Yeah, no, and it's very strict. These contracts, these licensing contracts are very, very strict. So, you sign 30 pages.
Yeah, you're dealing with Hollywood.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and they're thousands of lawyers of whatever the contracts they've written, and these contracts are this thick, and honestly, I don't even read them anymore. I just, where do I sign? It doesn't matter. You have to put personal guarantees up, and so yeah, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you guys have taken a lot of personal extension of not only your time and your money, but also with your investment in the theater, you have to maintain these contracts. Otherwise, you wouldn't have anything to show. So it's not just about running a theater for a local small town and advertising it. There's a lot of legality and a lot of money on a personal perspective that you've invested to keep this running for the town.
Yeah, and I think that's true for anyone who runs a business. You buy the building or you rent a building if you're in that world, and then you move in and you find out that roof leaks, or that foundation needs some shoring up. I think that's pretty common. I mean, we knew the roof had a leak because there were buckets and caution tape on the floor, so you had to stay within that. Yeah. And we got in and we patched that really quickly. We replaced the ceiling tiles that had leaks on them. By we, I mean Jack Martin. So I think that there are always surprises in any business. If you're a cookie baker, your oven goes down, your mixer goes down. We all have something that we're facing. Yeah. But I think in this regard, our main business is we're in the business of fun.
Yeah.
And if we can't make it fun,
then
we're doing something wrong. even just some of the things that that Teresa has set up with around Barbie and around the Minions movie and with Jessica Bravada's balloons, it makes the place fun. It makes the place a welcoming. Even with the bad seats that we had this summer, all those movies made it fun. We had record crowds at those movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where we're bringing the fun.
Even with all the challenges, we have been having fun. So, all of the challenges of this industry, the building, the projector, everything, we've still had a lot of fun. And being in a position where you get to engage with the community on something positive the movies and popcorn, and people are excited to get out for the night, and it's a social event. That's rewarding, and that is fun. So, all the things that we are doing, it's also rewarding to us because we get to meet, and we have met a lot of great people, and it also sparked a lot of conversations. And we got to hear, especially when we were tearing out the seats, all the people that came in and told us their stories. And we got to engage with all of these people, and it was just, and we got to be in a position of, it wasn't a transaction of, you're buying something, you're cashing out, and we got to actually, be a part of people's experiences, or them, telling us about them. So that interaction has been really rewarding for us, and then we get to go talk about it. So
Yeah, there was a longtime projectionist. You remember his name?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Woo!
So check out the big brain on Teresa. So Jerry, he kept that place running. He kept, that's a hard projector to run. You're talking carbon arc rods. It's basically welding to make a light to project through the film reel. But Jerry's son came in.
Oh, that's crazy.
And Jerry kind of talked about, I would sit up here with Dad, and I'd watch movies from upstairs, and that history, like Teresa talked about earlier, about your first date, your parents' first date. It is more than just a business. It's more than just a thing that we love about the town, the old buildings that we love about the town. They mean something because they were emotional, and that's why I got choked up at the grand opening when we were saying our words at the front, because it meant so much more than just, hey, welcome back to, to our kite shop.
Yeah.
I had to pick a business that there wasn't.
When we did the call to action for the photos, and we're still working on this. Davey, you've been amazing on this. And so it became this important thing for people to send in their photos. They want to be on the wall. At first, so we asked people to send in any photos that they had of the town, anything at the theater, anything that was kind of unique and neat for people to see. And we have a border that basically goes all the way around. I don't know how many feet. Davey, how many feet is it? I don't even know.
It's
Put that picture up, Davey.
153 feet. Hold
150.
on, I was grabbing their.
It's like 65
I
from
was
the
grabbing your
wall
email
down to the
address.
front.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, in the
so,
back.
Yeah,
what
153 feet.
Yeah, so what happened is at first it was slow, slow, people getting their photos in slow. And then I was talking to Davey, and I'm like, well, I don't know, every 7 feet we'll just repeat the pictures. Now we never have to repeat a picture. There's so many different pictures for the wall, and that's just the the unique touch and things. So that'll be coming after we get back from Florida. It just during the renovations and trying to get everything done to meet the deadline, it was just that one had to sit to the side. It was just so impossible.
Some of those projects went to the side. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
We kind of dubbed it like when you show a house and your house is for sale, and all of a sudden you have this one closet that you just dumped everything into, and you hope no one opens it because somehow you put the dog in there too.
Yeah.
So
we have quite a few more things that we're going to be doing at the theater, and the way I look at it is because we love it. We will probably constantly be doing things to it. Just because you're always wanting to give it some love. Yeah. And so I know there's a lot of photos that Jim has of various behind the scenes photos, like some Hitchcock things and just different things that are going to go on the wall in the lobby, lots of photos. And then he put some photos in the bathrooms. If you guys haven't been, go look in the bathroom. We started.
No, I didn't go during the opening.
Well, they weren't in the, they
No.
weren't up then.
We had the colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
they did-
okay.
Yeah.
So
We didn't get a chance.
Yeah, we did a film noir bathroom, so everything black and white. I will give you this here. So if you want to drop our camera back on, Davey, I didn't send this one to you.
Yeah.
So there's
There we go.
there's the men's room, all shades of different grays, and then there are images of Bogart from his movie era. There's the big frame is Nosferatu, and then we're dubbing the other bathroom the Technicolor bathroom because that one is it's like color swatches blew up in there. So it's basically all the colors that I pulled from this Wizard of Oz poster that I found. And it's like the golden age of Hollywood Technicolor. And Technicolor was just such a vibrant color technique that they would capture for film. So that's why we decided to kind of break those up that way as the film noir bathroom and the Technicolor bathroom. We're not sure if we're going to just let those be, what is it called when anyone can use a bathroom?
Unisex.
Unisex, thank you. Because people are going to want to see the black and white. The urinals in there, so that's going to make you feel weird as if you're a woman. But anyway, I'm rambling about that. But those are the kind of things we're going to add more and more of those photos to the walls.
Yeah, and in the bathrooms, there's photos of movie scenes of people going to the bathroom. So that's really interesting.
Yeah. That was a really
There's some really good ones.
Yeah,
Think of the one in Dumb and Dumber.
And Melissa McCarthy and
No.
yes, she's on the sink. We don't recommend our sink being used that way.
Yes, please not.
But we have to bring the fun inside.
Yeah. So
Well, you
Yeah,
guys have. I mean,
Oh yeah.
if we talk about some events that you guys did last year and the amazing turnout and enjoyment that people from the community, I mean, the one that comes to mind for me is obviously Barbie, because that was just so hilarious, with all of the box and the big bees that were up on top of the theater, all that stuff that Jack made, the balloons that Bravada's event, Jessica put together, all of the different, Jeff brought cupcakes that were pink, people dressed up. You guys put a contest together, and there was a lot of creativity. I mean, Amanda was on roller skates.
that was. When people showed up in roller skates, I was like, all right, this is great.
That's why that sidewalk was unsafe.
Yeah, and that was Manuela Kress had shown us on Google Maps. It was red. The Dwight Street was. There was actually a traffic jam on Google Maps in Oscoda on Dwight Street.
It was pretty cool.
It was red, and I was like,
Yeah, isn't that
I bet
funny?
that's never happened. Yeah, so that was cool. Another really cool.
You guys have
event.
really brought a lot of people downtown. And along with the other businesses and bringing together events, that was one of the other catalysts that
I know you guys are planning the 2024 season. But do you have anything in the short term that you can share with us, or is it all still under wraps?
Well, we're always, looking to work with Jessica to bring events downtown, and because she does such a great job. Bravada Events does such an awesome job. So she brought so many different car shows and pinups and just creating that foot traffic downtown. So when we're back, we definitely want to collaborate with her again, because she does such excellent work, and we really have a huge asset with her. And all of the business owners in that area not just Dwight Street, but the area to the Moon and back, all the businesses on Dwight Street, Style by Blake, everybody on River Road, Kelly Hume's place on the river, all of these people joining and getting together and coming up with creative ideas. It's fun. It's positive, it's fun. And, all of the downtown beautification, want to work with them, all these positive groups, the Rotary group, and, pulling all of that together and working together is really what we would like to do. And now we have the Holiday Inn. Love it or hate it, that's not the point. That will have some positive, benefits to creating more foot traffic downtown and helping everybody, come together and make some enjoyable experiences for all of the extra population downtown.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
definitely. And
I mean,
the tax benefit.
I wanted to ask, are you going to do a dress-up event for a movie?
Oh, for sure.
That's what I was trying to find out.
Yeah.
Barbie was a great dress up.
Yeah, Grease.
I know.
Yeah.
Bring Barbie back.
Rocky Horror Show. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Even the
Yeah,
Blues
that was
Brothers
great.
on grand opening, grand opening night, just different people were dressing up for that. But yeah, the witches of Oscoda, Jessica, she was a witch. There you go. Look at you have your Blues Brothers glasses on.
I do.
Yeah. So always doing some sort of, theme dress up events that
I'm
everybody.
always up for a theme.
Yeah.
even last summer, maybe it was the summer before, when Minions came out,
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect people to dress up in their finest, like they were going to a premiere to go see Minions. So that was a neat thing to see. The Mario Brothers, the parents and the kids that both wore their Mario Brothers, either their vintage stuff that the parents had and the brand new stuff that the kids have. That was stuff that just happened around us.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan that, and it just happens because people get excited by these movies, and movies that mean something to multiple generations are pretty cool.
I will tell you, one of my favorite events was when we played Rudy for the football teams.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
was amazing. We have a picture. It's of Danny Gallagher's son. We put up a flag that said, if you've ever seen the movie, it's Be a Champion Today. And it was a giant flag that we hung. So when the kids were walking out of the theater, you like hit the flag on the way out. And all the kids wore their football jerseys. And we captured this picture, and it was just the right lighting. And he was jumping up, and it was caught as he was jumping up, and it was a backlit and Be a Champion Today of him hitting that. It looked like a promotional shot for
Oh, amazing.
Rudy. It was so cool. It was one of the best things. And during that movie, right before the projector went down with the movie theater filled with football, all these boys from second grade through high school, we couldn't get the projector to run. And it was the stress from that. So Jim said to me, I think I saw a DVD back at the resort at home of Rudy. And I said, no, I don't have that. And he said, no, I swear I saw it walking out. So I raced back to our house, and there it was. And I drove back, and Jim set up we had a little tiny projector, and he set it up on top of the monster giant projector and shot it through the glass. And it was about 15,
No way.
20 minutes late. Movie starts at 7. This is about 7:15, 7:20, and we're having problems, and the crowd's getting a little restless. And we had the DVD. Jim was able to figure it out, shoot it through the projector, and we had we played the movie and then closed the theater for 2 weeks the next day.
And no, because we ended up using Warner Brothers stuff during that time.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so not to correct you, but I wanted to say is that even that little projector compared to our big projector was still robust enough that you wouldn't know that there was a problem.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Rudy is it's a pretty dull color film, so you don't see, like, if it was a pretty vibrant movie, it would have been a problem. One of the things that event-wise that we'll continue to do in conjunction with the Oscoda schools is every Christmas the second graders come in for a movie, and it's just a private showing, and we have a Santa there. And when we last
Look at that
year
kid.
or 2 years ago, this
Kelly?
little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, Kelly. From this little girl typified
I remember that.
meeting Santa. That is just, if second grade is the golden era of Santa years, and she's going to explode. And the good thing that Bo is holding her brains in, because it was a great moment. That's why we'll continue to do that every year. These kids freak out.
Yeah,
It's great.
and we just get to collect all these experiences, and so does the community. We're collecting them through the community, just by being observers. So it's really the movie theater is an important place. It's a positive for the community, and what Jim has said many times is, once a theater leaves a community, especially a small town like ours, a rural community, it's not coming back. That once it's gone, it's gone. So we're very happy that we get to continue to do this, and bring these experiences through movies and connections and this social setting, and people, we get to continue to have these positive experiences. I feel lucky, honestly.
Yeah, I feel lucky to.
I just,
to
it's
We feel lucky.
just kind of amazing. It's just an amazing experience to watch it, and to watch it happen so quickly. You guys have just really taken it to a different, I guess, a different place than what, I don't know how other people feel, but I had no idea that you were going to turn a local theater into what it is.
We didn't either.
With the events,
with
the promotions.
Oh, yeah. What you see is us, like, literally punting all the time and just kind of figuring out it as we go. We don't have any experience in this. We're just like, all right, let's try this. And a lot of times Jessica will come up with ideas. Kelly, you've come up with ideas. Davey, you've got ideas. And lots of people, come up with ideas, and we're like, yeah, let's try it. Let's do it. Sure. Let's go for it. Yeah.
I think the term unafraid kind of typifies us, because everything we do in our careers has come from a place where we don't know what we're doing. So I think I look at everything that we do, and it's like we didn't bring experience to anything. We just brought a lot of past experience in our careers.
And just some passion.
Yeah. So
That's it.
Like these, these new surround sound speakers, we only realized how bad the surround sound speakers were when one dropped off the wall when we were taking them down, and we looked into the guts of it, and it was just like, oh, this is not good. So then eBay comes to the rescue, and I find 12 JBL surround sound theater speakers, drop shipped to our house for an unbelievably stupid low price. Like, probably these original speakers weren't this cheap, but they're used, they're out of a theater. And when we fired those up for the first time, and I ran a big action trailer through it, very loud, louder than we would play it at the theater. It was like goosebumpy, like it just took over the theater.
And you're like, God, I hope this boat floats when we put it in the water. Literally, we're like, okay, turn it on, and and it worked.
Yeah, and just like the people that helped us work on that stuff. from our friends from downstate, Tim and Tristan. Those guys, they found that the heat rises in that building. So like we're down on the floor freezing. I keep turning up the heat, and I look up and Tim's hanging from a ladder, just sweating because the heat's all up where his head is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I look at the. I also want to mention that the Dwight Street merchants. When we talk about how we're all banded together. I don't think that happened before. Everyone on that street is great. You mentioned River Road is part of that world. It's kind of like it matches the social district. So if you can get a beer in your hand and walk around, everyone is part of this excitement of, we're not just, little rascaling this when saying, let's put on a show. We've all got serious investments put into our businesses. And that goes for everywhere in Oscoda. If you look at what we struggle to sometimes, and, when we do get a great investment from a Holiday Inn, there's just negativity surrounding that. And, you take the good and you celebrate the good. And I think I can't say enough good things about that. If that continues to bring more people to walk around our town, it's going to help us.
Yeah, it's going to help. It's going to help. It's going to help the town, the community.
Are there any questions from the people who are lurking?
Yeah, I was going to just say, Davey had a couple of things. We're at 7:53. We always take it right to 8 o'clock. We don't want anyone to think that they're going to have to go over. So I'll throw it out to Davey and then open it up to anybody that might have a question or two. This will be on replay. So when we post it as a replay, if everyone on here could do us a favor and just share it to your timeline, it not only helps promote what the benefit that the theater brings to our town and how we are a community of just friends and neighbors, but it also helps us to bring awareness to the Buzz Hub. And Davey will go into a little bit more right now about the Buzz Hub and what we're doing with it. All this stuff we're trying to do to bring the community together for free. So Davey, take it away.
Well, we're supposed to give away 2 tickets too, aren't we?
Excellent.
Yeah, we are. Well, I've been writing down all of the names.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a wheel of names already set up.
Oh, well, see, that's why he does what he does.
So here, let me share my screen here. Where we at? Oh, geez. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, share screen. We're gonna go to Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names.
All right, let's bring
What?
You see that?
It's
Yes.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Hefe.
Yeah, it's a wheelofnames.com. It's a free spinner if anybody ever needs to
This is
use
so
it. So
cool.
I've got every
you got it. Hang on, I think we got a couple more.
It's
Sue,
Jeff and
Robin
Miranda.
B. Do we have? Yeah, Manuela.
Oh.
Thomas. Your mama Jan. Jessica.
Oh.
Alex. We got Alex. Lenny. Miranda, and we got them all. All right, spin it.
ready.
Yes. Who's getting 2 free tickets?
Me.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Look, there's Huffy.
All right. Congratulations, Thomas.
Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the inside of the theater.
We look forward to having you
It
in.
won't be
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah, Thomas, just
So,
go
Davey,
down
you
and, what?
Yep. Teresa
Hey,
and Jim,
can
you're
we
just
spin-
going to
can
leave
we
Thomas'
spin that
name
wheel
in the
again?
box for 2 tickets, right?
We do what? I'm sorry. It's 2 tickets to the theater? Oh, no,
Can we
we can't.
spin it again?
Spin her
Oh.
again.
Spin it again. So
No.
we'll do another
Spin it again. Okay.
2-pack.
Well, hold on. Let me All right. Let me share it again. So, Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names.
All right. All right. Here we go.
Take Thomas out. He can't win again.
Oh, well.
If Thomas wins, we roll.
should I?
Oh,
No, you can't win it twice, Thomas. Sorry.
I was just going to ask, actually.
Interesting. It almost landed
spinner's
the exact
rigged.
same place on the
All right.
Spin it.
All right, one more spin. Yep.
Miranda.
Sorry, you can't. Yay!
Here's a question.
Jeff and
Alrighty.
Miranda have a question.
Yeah. So we're going to take over. So in the questions, Jeff and Miranda asked the question, I think it's to everyone here. What was the first movie you all saw in the movie theater? No, it wasn't to us, I don't think.
Ours was
Everyone can answer if they want.
Then we'll go
That's
first.
a good one.
Our first movie we had was Top Gun Maverick. The first movie we saw was we went to the movie before we owned it, just to kind of see it. And it was the it was part of the Harry Potter world where Benedict Cumberbatch was in
Oh,
there. So we went and watched that
Dumbledore.
movie. It's not, it's not Dumbledore. It's okay. It's Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
But the
Whatever.
movie is
Dumbledore.
It's like the prequel to that. That's the movie we saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Well,
All right.
It was
Davey,
super-
I think the first movie I saw in a theater that I can remember was probably E.T.
No, the Lake Theater.
Oh gosh, the Lake Theater. Oh geez, I can't.
Since you owned it, or in general?
No, just in general.
Oh god, I can't remember that.
Expect me to remember that? That's 40 years ago.
Never seen a movie. Kelly Brown.
I've been around here for a long time.
Top Gun.
There we go.
Yes, Alex.
Alex is looking for his unmute button.
Jan?
Or her. No.
Oh, she's muted. Jeff and Miranda. It was probably the premiere party.
Wonka. No, I wasn't into
Wonka.
Wonka was my first.
All right. Hefe?
Oh,
I have
Wonka.
no idea.
Huffy, I know what it
Blues
was.
Brothers.
Blues Brothers. That's the one you
No,
said.
it wasn't. We came to the UTR premiere. The premiere at the
Oh,
UTR
yeah.
premiere.
Oh,
That's,
absolutely. But that's not a movie.
That's not a movie. That's not even entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Jessica,
What's
I watch it all the time.
Jessica, are you
You
there?
know,
Oh, yes, yes.
I'm here, but I missed the question.
What was the first movie you saw at Lake Theater?
So, as much as I'm there, I don't think I've actually watched a movie in the theater.
Blues Brothers.
Sat through one?
What?
I don't blame you.
Yeah, honestly, we don't. Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
Thomas?
Well,
You know,
hey,
I
guys,
moved here when
we
I was
are at
6, so I saw a movie 50 years ago, basically. I don't know what it is. But I want to tell you one thing I love about, I did see Wizard of Oz that you guys did that was great, right down front.
Yeah, thank you. Did you see the movie or did you see the mashup with Dark Side of the Moon?
No, I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The matchup would have been cool, though.
Oh, we did Dark Side of the Rainbow. So it was
Yeah,
Wizard of
that's
Oz
cool.
And yeah. So
Sorry to have missed
oh
it.
yeah, that's right. I remember that.
well, this has been fun, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tickets.
So,
And if
yeah, so you guys will just
Thomas.
leave their names at the
Yeah.
box office and they can just pick them up, right?
where's that located again?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
on,
How do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, it's 115 Lake Street. I'm pretty sure is the address.
I'll Google it.
Oh, yeah, her house.
All right. Yes, Thomas.
Yeah, you gotta Google it.
What's Thomas's last name?
King.
Lemcool.
Lemcool. Thomas Lemcool.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
Melinda and Tom.
Oh, there.
I will also say, if you were one of the people who won tickets from our renovation trivia contest, which I lost any sort of brainwaves to continue that on past the 15th day, those tickets will be at the box office when we get back. So starting in mid-April. So.
But we can have Thomas's.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll have every
Thomas-
one tonight. Those will be at the door.
Yeah, I'll make sure those are there ready for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, you guys,
You guys have-
it's been fabulous. Thank you for jumping into our little adventure called the Buzz Hub. And we also have an app. If you guys have not downloaded the app, please do so. Any promotions that a business or an event that's being put on behalf of a business, our goal is to get the Buzz Hub into as many local as well as tourist hands. So keep us in mind. Thanks for being willing to come on, and we'll see you guys on the Buzz again.
See you guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.